Okay, so the issue here is when one of the subpages gets shared on social media, uh, it pulls up whatever random image that you're using. So in this case, they're looking to share this new, um, one of the new pages. So if you come in and you share just a random page besides the home page in Facebook, and this is the URL debugger, and it says this URL has not been shared with Facebook before, that's fine. When you pull it up, it's probably going to do probably nothing. So there won't be an image. There might be the page title, description, that's good. Sometimes you have to hit scrape again a couple of times. And in that case, it pulled up the first image. I think that's the first image on the page. So sometimes it'll do that, and that's proper. That's what social media and other sharing accounts do. It'll go in and scrape the first image. In this case, the ecosystem partners, you'll notice the first image is a logo, so that's kind of goofy. So we're gonna just test it out here. Ecosystem partner hasn't been shared before. Fetch new information. The first time it might be blank, which it is. Scrape again, and this is just the debugger being a little goofy. So there we go. So that's what this person's seeing. He's saying, hey guys, I want to do a post announcement about the new page. When I paste it, the DCN logo showed up. He thinks he's doing something wrong, but it's actually just kind of a configuration of the website. You could, so we installed Yoast SEO on every page, and we have it set up to pull in featured images and stuff. So if we go ahead and edit this page, there's a couple of things going on here. It will, if you do not have sharing will default to the featured image of set to the page, which in this case is none. And that's okay. We don't really need a featured image for any other reason. So if we wanted to have a custom featured image, so if we wanted to make like a custom graphic that talked about the ecosystem partners, blah, 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 we could do that and upload it to the featured image of the page itself. There's another workaround. If you just want to use a default featured image, say for the entire site, you can do that in the Yoast SEO plugin. So the one we did create one for the default site. I'll show you what it is here. If you edit the home page, you'll see it's down here. And sometimes we'll create a custom graphic. Sometimes we'll just put a kind of the quote-unquote featured image. Here it is. Here it's just their main image that they've used over and over. This is kind of like their branding image, and we just overlaid the logo on top of it. So that's cool. We could assign that featured image to each and every page. So we could come in here to the new ecosystem partner, put it in here. It's a little tedious. Yoast actually gives you a backup plan. So under Yoast, if you go to social, under Facebook, there is a default setting, so it says default unit. This image will be used if the post or page does not contain any images. Well, it does contain images, but it's a generic image like a logo. And we certainly don't want that. That's the default one. So what we're going to do is you can go in and find the image that was used on the home page. In this case, you can click on it, and it'll automatically take you to it. And then what you do is you take this URL over here, highlight it. You're going to click it a bunch of times to highlight the whole thing because it's always hidden under Control-C. Come back to SEO, hit Control-V, and there it is. So you want to make sure you have a proper full URL. Argonaut.ms, content, header, background, full edit with logo. Hit Save Changes, which is cool. And then we should, again, we don't have to touch this page at all. This was just pulling it up to show that we did not have a featured image available. So we save that. We should be able to see it here. So if we scrape again, it might take a couple times. And there we go. Okay. If you ever do share an image, you do want to come back to this image one, because what Facebook and others do is once they scrape it the first time, they'll actually save this image in their cache. So this tool, which you should have bookmarked, will allow us to tell Facebook, hey, we've updated some information, scrape again. So scrape again, and there it is. So now if this page, Ecosystem Partners, is ever shared, and this is all being set up for Facebook, but it also applies to other social media platforms, LinkedIn, so on and so forth. So if we did the share on LinkedIn, you'd have to go and you'd see the new one pop up. And that's it. So now, under Yoast, since we have that image saved, that will be the featured image for any page that does not have a featured image set on it right here. And so what we should do on our sites is set that as a default. It's not done too very common, because usually people don't share. It's not very common for people to share an internal page, but it's done often enough that we should go through and set that featured image the same way. We've always set it on the home page and left it at that, but we also should set it for the default settings within Yoast. Thank you very much. Have a good day.